Display campaigns. Another good format type. Not one of my favorites, not one I use consistently and all the time. However, I have in the past run lots of display campaigns and they have their place. They have their time as well. I think they've got a bit of stiff competition at the moment when you look at some of the newer campaigns that have been added in the last 4 years or so, I guess. So probably don't get used as much as they used to. But again, display, great reach, visually focused, and as you're about to see, useful even for a full funnel approach. As I mentioned, and very similarly to the YouTube section that we ran through, display is a full funnel, or has the ability to be a full funnel approach because it's got great reach and it is visually focused, meaning let's define our campaign before we start into either a brand bucket or a performance bucket. Display allows for that because it allows us to convey a brand message through imagery at scale, meaning we can reach lots and lots of people across lots and lots of different types of inventory and across different contexts as well. And at the same time, it enables us to dial in on those in-market audiences or those performance-based audiences because we've got the scale and the inventory scale. We can find them in more places than we can actually for other campaign types. So if we're running just on YouTube, for example, and I want someone who's in market for wine glasses, and I know there are 10 people in the world right now looking for wine glasses, I need for those 10 people to be on YouTube to be able to target them if I'm excluding video partners. And I then need to win the bid to get my video or ad in front of them. However, if one of them's on YouTube and the other 9 are on random websites, which happen to fall within the Google inventory list or partners as they're called, then I know I've got 9 other opportunities to bid on those audiences and to get my brand message in front of them. So that's what makes something like display more powerful. However, as I have said with all other campaign types, I like to control inventory and inventory sources and quality of inventory and to some extent, sometimes context. Display allows you to do that and you can control context very well. But it can be a bit more manual because you're over a lot of different inventory. You need to be regularly checking in on your campaign to find out where you are serving and then applying the appropriate exclusions. Nonetheless, before you embark on creating your display campaign, I'd highly recommend you decide, is it a brand campaign or performance campaign? Because display has a wide variety of different bidding metrics that you can, or different bidding strategies that you can use. So you need to define that up front. Once you have that decided, we can take a little bit of a more in-depth look at what display campaigns are all about. So as I alluded to, display campaigns let you reach a relevant audience with visually engaging ads across millions of websites and apps. Millions. So the reach is huge across these campaign types as well. And some of the benefits include reach more people in multiple places. Display campaigns can reach people worldwide across 35 million websites and apps and on Google-owned properties. So they are everywhere, display campaigns, and I'm sure you've seen them everywhere as well. Any website you go on, they are on the right-hand side or a banner at the top or something like that. You will have noticed them. And if you haven't, after you finish this chapter, you will start noticing them everywhere again. And sometimes they are a little bit annoying when you've got websites that stack too many, and it can actually slow the speed of the site down and things like that. That's a problem in my opinion. That's one of the drawbacks of displays being in that highly competitive environment. Build campaigns around your goals. So you can drive sales, leads, and website traffic, or you can build awareness and consideration for your business, product, or services. It's quite a useful and flexible campaign type as well. It's designed for ease of use, and it's definitely got easier to use over time. I'll definitely give them that. Display campaigns use machine learning solutions across targeting, bidding, and formats to reach a new or existing audience, this can help your campaign deliver the best campaign results. One of the other things I'll say about this as well is one of the heavy components of a display campaign is the sheer number of image-based formats that you need to upload and submit to run across all different format types in order to not restrict yourself from an inventory perspective. That means you need to build a lot of different creatives and a lot of different aspect ratios, which is a pain, to be quite frank, and it costs money. And people are going to ask for more money if you're paying a designer to build your creatives. So what they have introduced is the responsive display ads, which work very similar to the discovery campaign just gone, but they've definitely made it easier. So that's a positive there. Optimized targeting. Find the best performing audience segments that include potential customers with the highest likelihood to help you meet your conversion goals. So this goes back to before, you can put in a campaign objective and you can use those optimized targeting features. I tend to use it only once I've reached the limit on my current audience, and then I'll use optimized targeting to scale up the campaign further. But test it as you will, see how it performs. Smart bidding is obviously crucial. We love smart bidding now. It makes things easier for us. Granted, it wasn't great in the past, but it's much better now. So bidding that uses machine learning to optimize for conversions. This is great. It means we can just set our goal, purchase, leads, whatever it may be, and we can let the campaign run. And then we can play with that later down the line once we've plateaued in our conversions. And on the right-hand side here is just some examples of some of the display creatives I have found. And as I touched on earlier, the ease of use comes with the responsive ads, which automatically adjust their size, appearance, and format to fit available ad spaces. These are the easiest creative format to build. So you've got two options. You can go down the responsive ad route, which I highly recommend, or you can go down the manual display route, which entails you to upload countless numbers of ad formats and different sizes and all those kind of things. I will leave a list or a link to the Google ad formats for the standard display formats themselves. And you can go and check out how long that list is and decide if you want to do that or not. If not, welcome back to responsive display ads. On the left-hand side here, you've got the some of the specs that you'll be required to input. So at least one landscape, a landscape image and a square image, a landscape logo, a square logo, up to 5 short headlines. And these are maximum of 30 characters. One long headline, a maximum of 90 characters, and then up to 5 descriptions, a business name, a final URL, obviously. And then you've got a couple optional things here, a call to action and a promotion and promotional text. Depending on if you're running brand or performance, you might want to add a call to action or some promotional text. It's entirely up to you. And don't get annoyed with me for saying this because I've said it in every chapter so far. We want to prepare these ahead of time. Lastly, with display, because it has the ability to run full funnel and we want to maintain that control, I highly recommend one campaign, one ad group, one audience with appropriate images and go from there. Similarly to any of the other campaigns you're running, if you're running an awareness focused campaign, you're using broader audience usually. You can also use an in-market audience if you want to, but I'd recommend if it's all about reach, those broader affinity audiences are going to drive that bigger reach, meaning you're likely to get cheaper CPMs. You're going to get that reach for cheaper. And again, you want to have appropriate creative with that as well. So if it's awareness, you want something that introduces your brand and is maybe less pushy on the conversion side, more of a softer approach, let's say. Likewise, with our in-market campaigns, we want to go with one of the in-market audiences, ad group, or use a custom intent. But you definitely want to be using your in-market audiences, especially the off-the-shelf Google ones, because they will provide enough scale as well to be able to reach all the people, the appropriate people, without it costing too much money. And again, appropriate creative within there as well. Slightly more focused on driving conversions, more call to actions involved. And last but not least, your most important audience, as always, your retargeting lines. Separate campaign, again, separate budget allocation, separate optimizations, separate everything. Your most important audience, your retargeting lines. Even if the scale across your website is tiny, it doesn't matter. Just get it set up. Even if you can only spend $1 a day, just get it set up and spend that $1 a day. It's still gathering learnings about all different conversion actions you've got set up and that it is driving. So it's worth it. And likewise with the in-market, you want to have appropriate creative and images. And remember, this is a warm or a hot audience. So use your best practice, some distinguishing features, some call to actions. All of those things are great to implement there. More creative strategy to come though, so stick with us. That brings us to the end of the display campaign. I guess additional information. That coupled with the information we provided in level 1, you should have a really, really detailed understanding of the display formats now, and you should have a better understanding of how they fit to your broader marketing strategy and how you can use them and where you should and shouldn't be using them. So with all that in mind, let's jump into the next video, which is the campaign demonstration. So I'll see you in a minute.